everybody, my name's Jodie Newman and I'm the education nurse for the British Dermatological Nursing Group and lead nurse for 18 Week Support. The use of sun protection is beneficial for everybody, irrespective of age, gender or ethnicity. The NHS recommends that when we apply our sunscreen, this should be first thing in the morning, 30 minutes before leaving the house, and then every 2 hours if we're due to be having prolonged sun exposure. Now, there is no recommended brand. One that could be £3 could be just as good as the £30 brand. However, we do recommend that it is broad spectrum and that it is protecting you against UVA and UVB rays. One of the easiest ways to remember is UVA. A stands for the aging. That's the ray that's going to be giving you the wrinkles and the aging effect on the skin. And UVB, B for burning. So that's the ray that actually gives you the tan. In the UK, UVA is displayed using the star rating system, and anything with 4 stars or more is deemed sufficient, whereas a European or international brand, this information will be displayed with UVA being circulated on the product. Now, one of the other questions people ask me is how much sunscreen is enough. The NHS does recommend that 6 to 8 tablespoons should be sufficient enough to give coverage for the entire body. However, we all know in the real world that nobody's body is the same shape or size. So I tend to say it, as long as you're applying enough to give you equal coverage, it's better to have more. They're both doing the same job, but they just do that in different ways. A mineral sunscreen, I tend to think of it as a mirror. So what happens is the UV light will come down, it will hit the skin, and the mechanism of action is it will reflect the UV light away to stop any damaging of the skin cells. Whereas the chemical sunscreens tend to absorb the UV radiation but turn it into non-harmful heat, which is dissipated through your skin. So some top tips for this summer are: remember, no sunscreen is once a day. Sunscreen should be applied every 2 hours if you're going to be out for prolonged periods. All sunblocks have an expiry date, so the one that might be in the back of your cupboard might be not be providing the same level of efficacy as something that you've just bought, which means that you're actually in increased risk of burning. The use of sunscreen is not the only key principle in ensuring your sun safety. The use of protective clothing, so a wide-brimmed hat, sunglasses, long-sleeved, or materials that don't allow for the UV light to penetrate through. We want to prevent cancer. Skin cancer is one of the cancers that can be prevented as long as we maintain sun safety. At 18 Week Support, we believe in the power of prevention, which is why we work closely with our trust to ensure that we provide high standards of education to our patients during their consultations. To learn more about our services, do go online to 18weeksupport.com, where you can find out about how our services can empower your trust and your patients to prevent skin cancer. Thank you so much.